Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Sorry we're late. We're going to have to move the call around that we have before this. It's a 5-day-a-week call. Tends to cause some problems, but maybe Greg and I will just leave it early from now on. Like, we'll just leave it early and be a little bit more professional here. Anyway, happy to have you guys here. Hopefully you had a nice weekend. We're back at it. The EV Strategy Show right here on YouTube and on X if you're watching there. Appreciate you. If you don't mind, take a second, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you're listening or watching after the fact. All that goes a long way for us, and we appreciate you in advance. Greg, what's up, man?
Yeah, by the way, immaculate timing by you, because there's no way the audience would know, but you timed that perfectly in terms of you sat down just as the music was fading out when the montage was ending for winning screenshots in March. I don't know if you just have, with your radio background, if you just have just an innate perfect sense of timing, but that was incredible.
That's how long it takes to go upstairs and take a piss and come back down.
Maybe that's what Joey had in mind when he was putting the video.
Yeah, it probably was. I do it every show because I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, hold on, I'll be right back. But yeah, anyway, let's have some fun. Let's get some bets in. Anything you're seeing on the board out of the gate right now that stands out to you for some EV spots today? Because I think I bet that one already. I bet that earlier. It hasn't actually moved, I don't think.
Yeah, so we've got for people who have not bet it, it's also one that was included in my thread, but Easton Lucas. This is a strikeout prop over on FanDuel, and it's under 3.5 strikeouts plus 122 odds. So plus EV on FanDuel. Also, if you guys have been using some of the peer-to-peer books that are now included in our EV algorithm in PortfolioEV, it's plus EV on NoVig, but just about every other book has this close-ish to even money. Some books even have it at minus money, like Hard Rock has it at minus money. I can't tell which logo this is down here, but that one has it as well at minus money. So Easton Lucas under 3.5 strikeouts on the road in Boston. That's looking like a pretty good prop.
And if we're looking at promos today, there should be some. The tough spot, the tough part really is that there's only 2 NBA games, and now even you had 2 NBA games. There were a bunch of bets I got in early. And I actually, Bam Adebayo was ruled questionable, labeled as questionable like an hour ago or so, Greg. I don't know about you. That throws a wrench into the works a little bit.
So one funny thing about that as well, because I've been trying to be quick to post NBA props into my thread for today, and this was the exact timing. I pressed send on Bam Adebayo under 9.5 rebounds. And the second it's submitted to Twitter, like where it said, post it or whatever, notification, Bam Adebayo questionable now for today. So it's when there's only 2 NBA games, it's going to be hard to have a ton of volume. And then it doesn't help when one bet that you place immediately that guy gets downgraded to questionable. Now, with that said, if he gets ruled out, not the end of the world. If he gets ruled out, it's just a bet that gets voided. But yeah, it does throw a little bit of a wrench into everything.
Yeah, I do wonder, though, because there are 13-point, in some spots, 13.5-point home favorites today against the Sixers. And, do you just sit Bam Adebayo at this point? Right? I'm not saying you necessarily have to, but what I am saying is this. They're already locked into a play-in spot. There's no way they're not getting a play-in spot. Could they move up? Sure. But you're not from a mobility standpoint, the highest this team is going to get is to a better play-in spot, Greg. But I don't see them getting past Orlando. Sure, maybe Atlanta in a spot like this, but in all likelihood, they finish as the 9 or 10. And I don't know how much a team like this would be worried about that. So it wouldn't shock me if Bam just didn't play in a game like this, honestly.
Yeah, could definitely be the case. And in general, when guys are downgraded to questionable and not otherwise on the injury report, I don't like the actual data on this, but it does seem in general to me that they're more likely to sit than play. This is particularly true when guys are later day downgrades, when you get some of the guys who at 6:45 p.m. Eastern time get downgraded to questionable. We saw that with John Morant on Saturday. We had the Memphis Grizzlies playing the Detroit Pistons. And what ends up happening is 10 minutes before that game is expected to start, John Morant gets downgraded to questionable. It's what are you downgrading to questionable 10 minutes before the game starts for? Lo and behold, starting lineup comes out 2 minutes before the game starts. John Moran isn't in the starting lineup. So you kind of put 2 and 2 together and figure out that he's going to be sitting. So those kinds of late day downgrades on the day of the game, it more often than not tends to imply the player is going to sit. That's not the exact timing of Bam, but I'm in agreement with you. I think he's more likely to sit than play.
I also here's something to consider for you guys. When that news did come out, Greg, I had probably 11 total bets on FanDuel, and 5 of them were Miami unders. I went in there immediately when I saw that news and was able to cash out before the game was suspended on all of them, full 100% cash out. So I'm going to do that if given the opportunity. You're going to miss it sometimes, but if there are books, there are certain books that will allow the 100% cash out. DraftKings is not one of them. I'm pretty sure they take like 10% off the top without line movement anyway. But if you can do it on FanDuel and get there quick enough, I would highly recommend doing that, because more likely than not, when it comes back online, you're going to have worse odds and your cash out's going to be lower, and you're just going to have a minus EV bet now.
Yeah. If I could have done that, I certainly would have. I don't have cash out options on FanDuel anymore.
Which is so funny. Yeah. Which is so weird.
But I agree with you. If you can do it in those situations, absolutely makes sense.
What are you able to bet on like a points prop for, did you have any points props bet for FanDuel today?
Yeah. So usually my max win for points props is $100 on FanDuel. And then usually my max win for rebounds props are $75.
Even as the day, what if it's an hour before tip?
Then it might go up to like 150.
For rebounds?
For points, and then rebounds to 100.
Yeah, you're not getting points or rebounds above 100, because that's where mine maxes out, and you have worse limits than I do. But points max at 200 for me as the day goes on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact number. Some of them are different too, where even like strikeouts for baseball, I found that to be pretty random. Sometimes
40, sometimes 50, sometimes 80, sometimes.
It's all over. I don't understand the limits for fan. Sometimes it's like weird numbers. Sometimes like $48.58. So the FanDuel limits are kind of all over the place and a little bit confusing. But yeah, it does, for whatever reason, they don't let me cash out.
I've noticed that as well. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. If you can jump in before they pull those, definitely do it. Today I was lucky enough because I didn't have a lot of bets in my bets. I didn't have a lot of logged bets already. All right, so let's take a look and see if we have any promos. Number one, I would imagine you're not getting a lot of NBA promos today. DraftKings has the no sweat home run parlay or home run play, which can be a solo home run or a straight bet, can be a parlay if you want. That's pretty sweet. Booster SGP bet or any NBA game tonight. So they have that as well. So I suppose we do have something there. And then you've got on FanDuel, anything good? 30% profit boost, same game parlay for MLB. Let's see if there's some trickery here again, though. 3-leg parlay. Yeah, see, they do this. It says same game parlay, but it doesn't actually need to be a same game parlay. So it could just be any parlay.
Okay. That works. And is it sports specific? Can it actually be anything?
No, what I'm saying is for this baseball specific one, on it says same game parlay, but it doesn't actually have to be when you read the description. So if we had 3 baseball bets, we could do that as well. We could go into the live odds tool right now and see if we can find some home run bets. No matter how you want to do it, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, we could go and check out the live odds. Look for baseball home runs over on DraftKings. I did see that Brett in the chat had said that he's not seeing that many home run bets that end up populating through the tools. In general, home runs are really hard to find plus EV on, especially because so many books only have one-way markets where it's really hard to calculate. So, we do it in here to try to find the best odds that we possibly can using the live odds page. So for something like the no sweat bet or boost, those are going to make it plus EV anyway. But for just regular home run odds, it is pretty hard to find ones that are actually plus EV.
It is. Brett was talking about Hard Rock, but I'm glad you interpreted it as home runs because it's true. Everything you just said is true.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw HR and I thought, I assumed you meant home runs, but yeah, I didn't think that it could have meant Hard Rock.
Yep. Yeah. So look, I enjoy doing it like this as well. It helps us. It's still getting us an edge Another thing though, Brett told Ben and me this the other day, which is super helpful. All right, Greg, go to home runs. All right, and then we're going to, once that loads, I'm going to show you something that's super helpful. Shout out to Brett here because I had no idea. And now, yeah, sort by edge and then save it. And then now that every time you go into the live odds page, it'll default to home runs sorted by edge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very helpful.
Brett knows the live odds tool better than we do. So that's helpful. Yeah, just save filters afterward. That's what I did. And it's great. I go straight into it now. No problem.
All right.
Yep. And we got a decent amount of games today. I was looking at the DFS slate. There's only 7 for that 7 p.m., but I think there's a 3 o'clock and there are several at that weird 6:40 slot as well. What are you adding for edge
just
bugs?
the same filters we did last week, just adding in the exchanges.
Okay.
And then took FanDuel off. I don't like looking at the batter props for FanDuel. I consider them to be different markets from what's offered every other book just because of the rules being different. So if you guys have missed Lofty and I talking about this, the way that the FanDuel hitter props work is that for every other book, if a player doesn't start, it's no action. For FanDuel, it's action as long as a player ends up entering the game and gets a plate appearance. So for DraftKings, if you bet on somebody at a home run and they don't start, instantly gets voided. For FanDuel, you could bet on somebody at a home run, they don't start, then they enter the game as a pinch hitter later on, and then it ends up being action. So then it's like, all right, I've got this regular eat hitter who I've got like a 9-1 bet on homering in this one at bat, and it becomes a really negative bet for that reason. So I don't really like to bet FanDuel home run props. The caveat being that I feel a little bit different if it projects as plus EV and the lineup is already out, or else it's pretty risky.
I'll still bet them if I think there's a good chance the guy should be in the lineup and he's not a platoon guy. I don't really worry about it as much as you do. If my expectations are he's going to be in the lineup and they haven't played a bunch of days straight, or maybe they had a day off or something.
You know what's funny? The top bets using this right now, it's all Hard Rock home run bets.
Really?
Yeah, we've got Jacob Young at 30-1. He's 9-1 at Caesars.
Wow. Yeah. See, well, also Caesars home run props are just largely terrible.
Yeah, what is this at other books? All right, so he is 30-1 on Hard Rock, 22-1 on BetMGM, 28-1 on DraftKings.
I have Connor Wong popping up for me as well.
Okay, never mind. We can't use the yeah, we can't use NoVig for this. These are like insane gaps here.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm taking these off. Let's see what that changes. We'll see if those bets still pop up.
We'll still have positive bets for sure. I've got a bunch here. I had Connor Wong up top. 640 game. 645, actually. A lot of weather today. Again, by the way, guys, take that for what it's worth, but a lot of weather, again, is just causing issues.
All right. Well, it's the exact same bets with the same odds showing up anyway. So either way, it's still got Jacob Young here showing up as a positive EV bet on over 0.5 homers. Never mind.
No. Yeah, there it updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now that it's updated, yes, like these are some of the ones I wouldn't want to bet on FanDuel, like Mark Ventos to homer, Tommy Pham to homer. We got Brandon Nimmo here, Brett Beatty, Trevor Story, Jorge Polanco. Yeah, lots of FanDuel ones here.
I would bet that Connor Wong without hesitation.
Where's the
up
Connor
top.
Long one?
Oh, why is it not? What are you using as edge books?
Circa and Pinnacle.
So am I.
Maybe the odds just updated.
Maybe. Let me refresh it.
It says updated at 122, so it's possible.
Connor Wong looked great, and he was going. Yep, it's gone against the lefty too. Let me see if FanDuel moved them.
What?
Wow, how about that? It was at 10 plus 1020, and FanDuel just moved it to plus 750.
Okay.
That was a really nice spot too. Righty lefty matchup. Yeah, a really good spot. So you wouldn't be interested in this Tommy Pham, huh?
No, not for myself.
You could twist my arm.
Yeah, can't mind. I wonder what there was another Red Sox one in here, Trevor Story. I wonder if that one's moved now too. Yeah, Trevor Story is still at 8-1.
Tommy Pham's got a matchup against the lefty. He should be in the lineup. He's not hurt.
Possibly.
I'm just throwing it out there. The only thing too is that like it's not the greatest matchup. Not that matters all that much. I would bet the Tommy Pham spot. Who else do you have?
All right, so the other ones at the top here, the one that I would be most inclined to take if I was pulling one of these FanDuel ones and playing it right now is the Trevor Story 8-1.
I don't mind that at all.
But what I really want to find is a DraftKings one because we get a no sweat bet for that.
We do, but I could also just make a parlay on FanDuel.
That's true. Oh, you can make it crazy. That is one thing we could do because it is. Here's a good way to do it. Here's a way where it's way more risk free. We could do a FanDuel home run parlay, and it's risk free. We get refunded if it loses anyway, right?
No, I think today's the boost.
Oh, okay,
today's
never mind.
DraftKings is the no sweat.
Got you. I thought the FanDuel one was no sweat as well, but
on
apparently
Friday when Ben and I did the show, it was, but now it's a 30% profit boost on those. I like this Trevor Story spot.
Yeah. If I'm picking one from the board, just of my own kind of intuition, it's Trevor Story, who's been one of the best middle infield hitters of left-hand pitching for the last handful of years.
Where did his power go, though?
He left Coors Field, and it became an issue.
For sure.
That he's been hurt constantly.
Yeah, for sure. But Coors Field, from a home run perspective, isn't like, I mean, it's good, but it's more so the extra base hits there, the doubles, the triples, and the gaps and stuff like that. I mean, Fenway Park, right field. Oh, I'm sorry, he's a righty, so you got the green monster. But yeah, all right. I'll go Trevor Story here. No issues with that.
Yes, yeah, Story's been on the Red Sox for 4 years now, and he's played in like 150 games. So I'm sure those injuries, and I know he's hurt his shoulder multiple times as well, so that's probably contributed. But at least so far this year, 194 ISO. He's hit a couple of homers already. So
yeah,
2023 he had 3 homers. 2024, all of last year he had 2 homers. He's already got 2 homers this year, so he's matched his season total from last year.
I know. Only 106 plate appearances, but I'm with you. This is a guy that we've known historically to be able to hit lefties. So I'm on board. Let's do it. Let's lock Trevor Story in there. You know, assuming he's in the lineup, I don't see why he wouldn't be. I don't see much reason to believe that he's not going to be in the lineup. He should. He should be batting 5th today against the lefty, against Easton Lucas,
who we also bet for under 3.5 strikeouts. So if we wanted to do a same game parlay, there's a little bit of correlation there.
Yeah. Brett said it went down to 750. If it did, it would still be marginally plus EV. Because we have those true odds of plus 734 there on Trevor Story.
Yeah, so still playable. Obviously not as good as plus 800, but still in play.
Yeah, so we still have it as a 2% edge, 1.9% if you scroll down a little bit further.
Yeah, I'm looking for any DraftKings ones that are here, but can't find them. Try refreshing.
Yeah, you're going to get this a lot where it's just a lot of FanDuel. And then, I've said this a million times. It's also always on FanDuel. It's always these Seattle bats when they're in Seattle. Always. Like every single day, you're going to see Seattle bats. Like I saw a Rosarena in there. I can't tell you why, always Seattle bats when it's in Seattle.
Yeah, Dylan Moore.
Dylan Moore. Always.
Yeah, there's the Rosarena.
Uh-huh.
Here's the updated odds on Trevor Story. But yeah, nothing for DraftKings.
It's unfortunate. It's mostly all FanDuel, really. There's one for BetMGM. O'Neal Cruz seems decent. There's a couple of these that pop off, or jump off the page. But for the most part, there's not a ton. Now, I like to refresh this at a decent clip because then you can find, some of that. Brett said personally, I like Alonso at plus 350. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Weather should hold up there and be fine. Some of these games, the weather is crazy bad. Like, I mean, even in this Boston game, 36 degrees. 36 degrees in Boston today. This might actually not even play.
Could be. Some of the crappy weather games, you could also run into a little bit of risk where it becomes an official game, but it only plays 5 innings. So that is something else to consider as a potential risk.
Nice. Kevin said he used his DK no sweat on 4 Yankees to go yard for plus 100,000. Sure.
The torpedo parlay.
Yeah, the torpedo parlay. The books definitely don't want you betting that.
Yeah, they probably don't even know about the bat change.
Yeah,
they're not up on it yet.
The Cubs game, 32 degrees with rain throughout, winds blowing in at 16 miles per hour from left center.
That's fun.
God, take a guess what the total is in that game. I haven't looked yet, but you take a guess what the total is there.
What's the pitching matchup?
So decent arms going. So you got you have Kodai Senga, and then for Miami you have. Did they not release a pitcher yet?
Yeah, I just pulled up the MLB app. Looks like they haven't announced a pitcher yet, but I don't know. 6.5.
Let's see. I haven't looked. That's why I was 6.
Oof. All right.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, I was talking Matt. Sorry. No, Cubs Rangers, Justin Steele and Nathan Eovaldi. My fault.
Friend of the fantasy community, Justin Steele.
Yeah. Eovaldi has been, I don't know if you've been like following baseball since the season started. Eovaldi's been lights out. He already threw a complete game shutout. Like this guy's been, and he's been around for so long with a lot of ups and downs. This guy's been out of his mind. Actually, a lot of really good pitchers going today.
So something really funny about Eovaldi too is that he's been super durable in recent years. Earlier in his career, he was a guy who threw extremely hard and was really good when he pitched. But the issue is you just couldn't rely on him to be healthy. He was hurt constantly. He's had multiple shoulder issues. He's had a Tommy John surgery, if memory serves correct. And then all of a sudden, the last few years, guy's been super reliable, and he doesn't deal with like pitch count concerns or anything. Teams let him throw like 120 pitches. It's been a crazy change since he got to Texas. That's actually the reason why the Red Sox didn't re-sign him when his contract last ran up, because they just didn't think he was going to be able to be healthy, even though he was a top pitcher for them.
Absolutely. Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th. Okay. Hey guys, new to the tools. Can you explain what the hold column is? Yeah, it's essentially what percent of money the sports book is taking for the amount of money wagered. Maybe you have a better way of explaining it that makes more sense, Greg. But the lower the hold here, I can tell you this, the lower the hold on a bet, the better.
Yeah. Or if there's a positive hold, because that could mean something like, where's the one? See how this has a positive hold? Here's why it has a positive hold. Because you could bet it at plus 725 on BetMGM, but then you could also bet the under for minus 658 on NoVig. So that's an actual arbitrage opportunity where if you were to bet both sides of it, you have a profit locked in. So holds could be negative as well, because there is none. The books, if you play both sides, are just losing automatically.
Yep. Yeah. Negative hold there on, what is that? The O'Neal Cruz homer?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want to check these tools out, the live odds tool is free. That's always free. You just have to create a free account. But if you wanted to get into the top bets tool, which is, we have all of this stuff up here with the edge and all that, the top bets tool, PortfolioEV, many of you guys in here already know, but that is the far more comprehensive algorithm and far more robust, everything in there from a betting perspective. So it's a lot more sophisticated, and you're getting hundreds of plus EV bets a day. There's a mass entry tool where you can add everything straight to your bet slips. The new parlay generator, all of the results in there with the Portfolio Lab are fully transparent, so you can see how everything has performed in the past. That's where the money has been made for a long time now. Like, truly taking no time out of your day, pretty effortless experience. And if you go into the description, your first week of that is free, 100% free. So yeah, if you wanted to get in, first week, 100% free, just place as many bets as you can.
Yeah. And also, if you guys go ahead and look at our link join offer, if you do want to get a good way to get access to these tools for no cost to you at all, so we've got the 7-day free trial. We also have our link join offer. So if you guys sign up with any of our affiliate partners through our link join page, which is available over on OddsShopper, like we have NoVig as a partner now. For each one of those you sign up for, you get 1 free month of PortfolioEV. So that's another angle that I think not enough people are taking advantage of.
Yeah, you're getting the sign-up bonuses and you're getting a free month of PortfolioEV. Actually, if you signed up at 4 books that you're not on yet, as long as you follow the directions there, you're getting 4 free months of PortfolioEV. Yeah. Yeah, that's within the app. You just click on more. And if you have questions, Greg and I have our DMs open all the time. Click on more within the app, and you'll see get PortfolioEV for free. That's the way you do it. So make that easier on yourself for sure. All right. So I'm going to get a couple home run bets in here, see what we can do.
By the way, Spray Art Buddy, watch our DFS shows, because I think that's what it is he's asking. He says, for DraftKings, I started the past week. Don't understand how you make points from a team with 50,000 to spend. Anyone know how to understand that sum? Yeah, go watch our DFS shows that we do on the Stochastic channel every single night, and that'll help you build those lineups.
Yeah, Stochastic, Stokastic. Yeah, Stochastic channel. We were there long before we were here. Long time before that. Any good parlays to build out right now? I know it's a slow day from an NBA standpoint.
We could for BetMGM.
Like, how comfortable are you betting these Tyler Hero unders or the Khalil Ware unders right now? I don't love it personally. I do not love it.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Just comparing it to some of the other books that are available. So it's going to depend, where it is you're getting the line. But like Tyler Hero under 5.5 rebounds at minus 115, but like FanDuel has it at minus 130 now. Caesars has it minus 133. DraftKings has it at minus 125. So a lot of books have accounted for this news, and ESPN Bet still has an outlier line that's out on it.
Yeah. All right.
There are some MLB hits props that are up on DraftKings right now as well. Vlad for under 1.5 hits. Ernie Clement under 0.5 hits.
Both on DraftKings?
Yeah. There's also a better Clement line on Hard Rock. Hard Rock has it at plus 185. I know that Brett had asked about Hard Rock before, so there's another Hard Rock play. Yeah, it looks like we could build out a parlay for BetMGM.
Let's try it. Brett Hunter said he made the mistake of checking his 401k today. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just buying more. I'll Keep buying.
Doing it now, or are you waiting?
No, I've been. Yeah,
Okay.
I dollar cost average into it. I don't care, man.
All right, BetMGM. All right, there's a variety of different props that are up on BetMGM right now. One of them really good. Kyle Connor under 0.5 total assists, -110. We've also got Hayden Wisniewski for under 2.5 earned runs at -145. So we got a couple of those. And then we could go with a plus money bet on Jordan Walker under 0.5 hits. We've got Keegan Murray for under 2.5 threes. He's also questionable to play today. We can include Vlad, that same prop that was available for DraftKings. It's available here for BetMGM, although it's only a 1 OS rating, so not all that well projected. And then we also don't have that much data yet on some of these new MLB markets. So I'd definitely be more inclined to bet some of these new OS markets with the higher OS ratings as opposed to going like to a 1 OS rating. Like I'm cool with Jordan Walker at a 4 OS rating. At least for now, I'm still a little wary of like a 1 OS rating hits prop though.
I'm a little bit, I don't think I would be jumping into that as well. I'll say when you've got a couple of these that are up there looking, 14, 4 OS rating, 3 OS rating, I have no problem jumping into any of that. You're right. Once you get into those super, super small edges on some of these hits props, a bit concerning, but you've done well since we have released the new markets for MLB. You've had some nice results.
Yeah, so I'll actually pull it up on the screen right here, but still like relatively small sample size, but I placed 100 bets, most of them in the last couple of days since we released it. And yeah, I do have a 20% or so ROI on baseball so far this season. So it's been good, but I've been sticking to the higher OS rated bets. I'm not playing the 1 OS rating bets or anything like that.
What are you keeping it? What's the lowest you're willing to bet it at?
I've been doing anything above 2 so far.
For anything MLB or new market?
Correct. Yeah, for anything MLB.
Including strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have it there as well. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Scroll down so everyone can see that one.
Oh, forgot to click on Jordan Walker. So here's what we got. Got Kyle Connor under 0.5 total assists, Hayden Wisniewski for under 2.5 total runs, and Jordan Walker for under 0.5 total hits. And that comes out to be plus 674 odds, 13% expected EV. So pretty solid there.
Yeah. Nothing for DraftKings or FanDuel that we have?
Yeah, nothing. I don't think so. We'll switch right here. Maybe something's changed, but at least there wasn't before. We've got some more now for DraftKings. Actually, that same Jordan Walker bet that's available here. We've also got Keegan Murray for under 2.5 total threes, which mentioned before he is questionable. If he gets ruled out, whatever, not the biggest deal in the world. But then we've also got George Springer under 0.5 total hits at plus 185. He also got hurt yesterday, so he might not end up playing, but same sort of deal. If he's not in the lineup, no big deal. It would just end up getting voided.
Adam Hefner, how do you get the research in when the lines and sports books are always changing so fast? Usually when I get the numbers by the time I get the place to slip, it's either gone or changed. It's not a research game here with PortfolioEV. It's a market-based process. So yes, you definitely have to move quick on these. There's no doubt about it, but you aren't spending time researching these. Like Greg and I might discuss them, and we might miss stuff on the show, but I can guarantee you our process is a little bit different when we're doing it, by ourselves with no camera on. Like you're really just trying to get these bets in as quick as you can. And if you have your portfolios set up the right way, you won't really have to do much research into these. Like you're not going to have to. Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what's the minimum OS rating that you'll like not research anymore and you'll just place the bet? My answer, Greg, is anything that pops up in my tools because that's what's in my portfolio. So I'm just going to bet it. I'll say maybe with newer markets that we release, I might be sometimes a little bit more curious to see what the other books look like. But for something as specific as NBA, where I've had positive results for such a long time, I try not to overanalyze anything.
Yeah. And by the way, here's what I have for baseball in April. The reason for April is, well, there just hasn't been baseball really outside of that. So I just pulled my baseball results here from April. So for the regular season. And a lot of these also are plus money bets, especially a lot of the hits unders that I've been betting. So the reason I have a 21% ROI with a 50, and 11 record, the 11 is because of a lot of guys not being in the starting lineups that have been bet on. So yeah, that has been about 10% of my baseball bets are guys who have not been in the starting lineup, which once again, that's one of the risks with FanDuel. That's something that would, pretty considerably lower your ROI if those were FanDuel bets and those guys weren't in the starting lineups where they got voided at other books. But yeah, so far, really small sample size because the markets are new to our tools, but it's been going well for me so far. And basketball winding down. There's not going to be a ton of it next week, but then we got the playoffs starting up.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting too. A lot less volatility with the NBA playoffs for sure. So that's going to be helpful. That's one of those things. I know there's some hesitation betting NBA right now, and look, NBA recently has not gone well for me. It's gone well for me all year. It has not gone well for me recently within the tools. I'll keep betting it. Last April went really well for me. I went back and looked at my November from 2024. It actually looked pretty similar to the stretch that I'm in right now. But it's the same thing as like, we're looking at the market right now. I told you, Greg, and I would look, zero financial advice here. I'm the furthest thing from an economist, but I keep buying because I have money in the market. So it's like, I could either just watch everything I have in the market go down, or I could try and average myself into a better position. With Portfolio EV, I'm not just going this like, why would I just stop after a handful of bad days? I've never done it before. And over the years, it's just continuously gone up for me, despite some volatility in between. It's really a similar concept. It just, you got to have an iron stomach sometimes, and that's not always easy. But as NBA playoffs roll around, there is a lot less volatility involved with that. The only real question then becomes like, how many minutes are the starters actually going to play, and how tight is the bench rotation going to be?
Yeah, the starters, we all know they're playing big minutes. There aren't going to be guys who are like randomly rested in the playoffs or anything like that. So, yeah, there's a lot more stability that comes with the NBA playoff rotations compared to the end of the regular season, which obviously also applies to something like DFS. We had somebody in the chat who asked us about how to build a DFS lineup, and yeah, like if you're just trying to build an NBA DFS lineup right now with no understanding of projections or anything going on right now, yeah, it would be pretty confusing trying to build an NBA DFS lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I looked for FanDuel right now, and really all like NHL points are showing up. There's not a whole lot else that's really worth building a parlay out for. The only argument there is that like if we went in from before and you guys took some of those home runs that we talked about, but I wouldn't be building any parlays out right now with MLB bets within the tools outside of home runs. And I would obviously make that a very small wager if you can find some positive edges. But yeah, man, I don't know. Only 2 NBA games today. There's not a ton to get into.
Yeah, man. And hey, we gave out some good bets here. We messed around a little bit in the live odds page, found some home run bets there. So if you guys do want to go and check back that live odds page, like Lofty said before, it is totally free to use. So if you guys want to go over to OddsShopper and check out the live odds page and look for a DraftKings homer later, go ahead. Free tool.
There is a Malik Beasley on FanDuel prop, minus 102, under 15.5 points today. So that's a good one, particularly because it's only showing up as a plus EV bet on FanDuel. Not a single other book is it showing up as a plus EV bet. So I like seeing that. Those are the type of spots I'm more comfortable betting than when everything's green except 1 or 2 books. This looks like a pretty good spot. Malik Beasley under 15.5 points on FanDuel right now at minus 102.
Yep. I have that in my thread from earlier as well. I bet that one. So I agree. I think that's a good bet.
What did you bet it at?
Minus 102.
Okay. It's actually the same number.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll double check right now. But I'm going off memory. I'm like 90% sure that was the number.
Gotcha. And yeah, you can use the mass entry tool on a day. Listen, we're going to have some crazy days coming up. I was looking at this. Tomorrow you have 10 games. I think Friday you have like 15 and then nothing on Saturday. And then you close the season out with 15 on Sunday. Your finger is going to be getting the workout using that mass entry tool over the next couple of days to close out the week. No doubt about it, man. There's going to be some huge opportunities to probably get like, I'm not even kidding, Greg. We might be in the like 300, 400 bet range with all of these sports going consecutive or concurrently coming up on Friday and Sunday. Yeah.
For sure. Plus, we got the Masters and there's UFC 314. On occasion, there are some UFC bets that populate. So it's not a ton of them, but every once in a while, you'll see like one or two that show up. I know you had said that you had ones a couple weeks ago for what, like Bet 365 you had seen or something like that.
Yeah, a bunch of them actually. A bunch for Bet 365. Yeah.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, guys, follow us. Greg at G Ehrenberg, DFS me _. Do you ever have questions? Hit us up. DMs are always open, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Much bigger slate, many more games, and that is what we will do. So hang in there until tomorrow, and we'll see you back here at 1. Peace.